You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome back. This is Paranormal Experience. I'm Kat, your host, and I have Marie D. Jones as my guest, and we have been talking all the things about living, aging, and learning how to alter your mindset and even you as you're going through developing. And that's fascinating to me because it took me so long to figure these things out. And there they were right in your book.
You know, sometimes I think, okay, if we knew what we know now in our 20s or 30s, how different our lives would be. And I know that's a question that I think everybody asks themselves. But
I think we would own the world.
We would. But then, when I really look objectively back, I realize that if things didn't happen the way they did, good and bad, I would not have gotten certain things in my life.
Exactly.
Like I might not have written books. I might not have had my son, and it's like, oh, wow, okay. So I do have regrets still. I'm not going to lie. I do regret a lot of time that I wasted not believing in myself. I had a real problem for a good part of my life, believe it or not, really not believing in myself as a writer, not trusting my instincts, not getting the work completed and getting it out there until much later. I started writing when I was a kid. And those are, I do have regrets. Maybe have some regrets about not having my son sooner, and maybe having a sibling, those kinds of things. But I think we all do that.
For sure.
And then when you kind of step back, you realize, you know what? It happened the way it did. And if it didn't, there would be so many different things about my life that maybe I wouldn't like. So, but we can only go forward. So if we do have regrets, the best thing about it is taking them and learning from them so that from this moment on now we can go forward.
Absolutely.
Instead of dwelling in them.
Well, you can lose a good part of what's left of your life with
Absolutely.
the regret.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to let that go. I have a hard time with that too, though.
I did too. One of the things that I do regret, though, is I gave up having a personal life. And I swear I told so many people, okay, 2019, I'm going to start dating again. Because it's been a few years since I've been in a serious relationship. And I just love writing and working so much that I keep sort of bumping that goal. So we'll see what happens. It's like, I got to meet somebody who knows how much I like to write and work. And he's got to have his thing too. So then he'll get me,
Well, yes, but my husband and I are basically polar opposites.
Oh, wow. How does that work?
It's worked very well. Not always.
Yeah.
But it does work well. He has his things that he likes to do, and I like to do my things.
Yeah.
And we support each other in what we do. He's my biggest fan and my biggest hero.
That's perfect. That's all you can ask for. Yeah, absolutely.
And he is mine. Yeah, he feels that way about me too, although I think, I drive him to distraction sometimes, but that's okay. And he needs to keep on those toes. It's all good. But
yeah, that sounds good. I think that general respect is there, that you can give each other your alone time that you need to do your thing, and then you come together as a couple. And yeah, definitely that's something that I would need. Not somebody who would hate the fact that I really do spend a lot of time writing. And I also spend a lot of time trapped in my head writing. So I could be not at my computer writing and sitting with you at dinner and I'm just writing in my head. I'm zoned out. So we'll see. I'll have to work on that. I don't want to, like, get to the end of my life and say, oh, all I ever did was work.
Well, yes. But is it really work for you? I know there are times that it definitely is nothing but work, but is it
You know what
always?
it is? Editing. I hate editing. Right now, I am editing 2 books, and I have a third coming in soon that I'll be doing editing on, and I hate it. But it's a necessary part of writing.
Hmm.
And I used to not edit. I used to have this huge writer's ego for a very short period of time before I got my butt whooped by my agent, where I would think, well, I think it came out fine the first time. I don't need to rewrite this. And no, that's not true. So I do it. I try to do my best. It's so painstaking, and sometimes it hurts having to, change things that you really think are perfectly fine. But that's the hard work part. The actual writing and the researching is so fun. And I'm the
Yes.
kind of person where when I was little, I was always writing since I was really, really young. But I wanted to be a million things. I wanted to be a jockey. That's still, if I weren't a writer, I really would have wanted to be a jockey. But I remember also wanting to be like a firefighter, an astronaut, a scientist, a teacher. To me, writing was the one thing that I could do where I could be all those things by writing
Absolutely. That's
about them.
wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to be an astronomer, and it's like, oh my God, when I got into high school and I looked at the coursework in college, it was like, oh, there is no way.
No, that
Because
is hard. I have,
I'm terrible at math, yeah. But
yes.
I can write about it in, fiction, or I can research it on my own. And so that's one of the real joys of being a writer, is that you get to do everything you've ever wanted vicariously.
That's a great thing because, I have been working on this project for months now. And I keep getting myself tripped up. I think I'm just going to approach it like that. And, you know, this is what I want to say. This is where I want to, who I want to create. And just
Yeah.
because even with an outline, I'm struggling. And I find that very odd. you know?
I hear that from a lot of people that are trying to write their first book. And I don't even remember that far back because I've been writing forever. But now, the one thing that I have learned to tell writers not to do is overthink it. And I still do that a lot. That will kill you. That will stop you in your tracks. And this goes for anybody that ever wants to write a book or a screenplay or a song. I don't care what it is. Just, the first draft, just dump it out on paper. Don't even think about it, because that's where the editing comes in. You go back but what trips people up is getting the stuff down on that blank piece of paper first. So now, like, I wrote a screenplay in 3 days. The other day, an idea came to me. It wasn't even fully formed. And I thought, you know what, I need to just get this down in a draft so I can kind of get it out of my head because I'm working on other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was shocked how far I've come from the days when it would take me, a year to write a screenplay. Boom, I banged it out. I sent it to a couple of people to read to help me figure out, what's missing structurally, what's going on here. And I just got it out, and I felt such a sense of relief. I still struggle, like, with nonfiction books. They're so intense with the research.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that when I just sit down, I don't think, and I just start, typing and getting it done, it starts to flow so much that I almost don't want to stop.
I
Because I'm
get in
afraid.
those phases. I hit those phases. And
Yeah,
and I don't go back and reread it
no,
because I'm
don't
not
edit
going to
short.
reread it until I'm printing something out to edit. But it's just like, and I know how much you helped our mutual friend Tom Comwell
Yeah, I love
because
Tom. Yeah, he's
he is
doing
a
great.
he is doing great. He is he's just such a wonderful person.
And
But
his
he
stuff
said,
is so research intensive too that he really has to sit down and do hard work.
yes.
Statistics and facts and comparisons and that stuff is hard.
And he does it so well.
Yeah.
So, I am just always impressed with him. And he's always
And you know,
kind, and he's always a gentleman. And I'm glad he's my friend.
yeah, he's a wonderful guy. And the thing is that he found something that he really loves to just
Yes.
dive into 100% and tackle. And you can feel the passion that he has for his subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, I'm sure he'll say it's hard work, but I also think that, it's fascinating to be able to research all of that and learn as you go and get it down on paper for other people to read.
Well, I am so impressed with him. I'm so impressed with you. I have several friends who write. I have several friends who act. I think they're pretty cool too because they get to be different people all the time as well. But I just find it amazing how prolific you are.
I've never tried acting.
Huh?
I've never tried acting. I don't think I could do that.
Well, you do it when you write.
That's true. That's actually true.
So, I get immersed. It's the same type of immersion. I feel like
we become different people or different parts of ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very cool. You okay?
Yeah, I got a little tickle. Allergies. There.
Okay. I hate when that happens.
I know. I have my cough drops at the ready. Our weather lately has just been nuts.
You're in South California, right?
San Diego.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm coming out your way in June. I'm coming out to Indian Wells.
Oh, yeah. That's further to the east out in the desert.
Middle of the desert.
Desert. Yeah. Yeah.
I went last year and it was so beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful out there. And that's a good time of year. It's not quite disgustingly hot yet.
Oh, honey, please. I am from Alabama. And
oh, well, you get the humidity hot.
the humidity hot. I love the desert because it just feels like heaven.
I do too. Yeah, I'm on the coast.
Yes.
But I'm inland far enough where we do get some of the desert winds and it can be very dry here. But that's what's neat about San Diego is that we've got the beaches, we have the inland valleys, we have mountains, and we have desert, all in the same county. So it's really nice.
That is really nice, but I could see where allergies would come from.
Oh, they've been awful lately because we're going from rain to dry, rain to dry, rain to dry. So my son and I are like human barometers.
Yes, you would be. I know that I'm so excited because, like I said, I've been sitting on the deck and I have a physical therapy appointment Friday. And David said, well, it's going to be 20. And I'm like, I'm going out in 20-degree weather.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no. I don't want to do that. But It's all good. And with that being said, we are coming up on the top of the hour. And this is going to be a 5-minute news break, courtesy of NPR. And we will be back shortly. Marie, I'm going to, just so you can prep, I wanted to touch on the 11:11 time prompts, but I also want to discuss the disaster survival guide because there is some interesting stuff there. And then I have a couple of other questions about the resonance key too. So maybe we'll be able to get to that as well.
Sounds good. I am going to make a quick bathroom run.
And I will catch you in 5 minutes.